AM 1170, The Answer.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel, your host with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall with Team Home Loans, and our special guest today, the millennial man himself,
yes, sir,
Mr. Wes Parker with the Whissel Realty team.
Yep.
So, Jason, I know you're a few generations beyond this, but are you familiar with what a millennial is? What do you know of millennials, given that you are in the baby boomer generation?
I have two millennial adult children that are 24 and 26, and they're both millennials, just like you and Wes.
So when you think of a millennial, what comes to mind?
So what comes to mind is you guys think you know it all. You guys think you're better than any other generation. You believe that you know technology. You believe, you just order everything on your phone, and including your Starbucks, your food, your video equipment, your computers. And now a lot of them think they can just buy real estate and get loans online, and they don't realize that their business is being shipped overseas and out of the country. And personally, as a Generation Xer, I feel like the millennials are going to wake up when none of them have jobs because they've outsourced all of their jobs in our economy. And that's one of my concerns for my millennial friends.
How do you feel about that, Wes?
I think that my generation is kind of paving the way, and we're doing everything a lot simpler. You guys put in back work and everything else, but we create systems to make it easier for all of us. And your generation is picking up on our systems. So you're welcome for that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you, Wes. Thank you, Mr. Al Gore, for getting the internet.
Yeah, speaking of things that the millennial generation comes up with in Coachella, they have what they call Uber Chopper.
Yeah, we talked about that last year.
What?
So you can literally Uber a
in.
helicopter. I could hit a button on the phone and have a helicopter. They'll
Wouldn't that be
basically
cool
have
to
a
do,
car,
Wes?
pick me up, take me to the airport, and then put me in a helicopter and drop me off
And it might
at
be
Coachella.
easier than the traffic that my father-in-law is anticipating with the Jefferson exit. Now, there's all the side roads I'm thinking of is what I would get off one of the earlier exits, Kyle, and hit the Starbucks or hit, food and then go down. But all those side roads are going to be crazy as well because all the locals will be there, and everybody using Google Maps will also be running these side roads. But it'll be crazy out there. So I think my father-in-law plans on just staying home inside the house and maybe renting to Wes $700 a night or something. or Craig Sewing.
Might be willing to pay that.
Yeah.
Per room.
Well, when is Stagecoach? When you guys going?
Stagecoach is the third weekend. So it goes Coachella, and then Stagecoach. So I believe it's the
Stagecoach is at the exact same place.
All right. So we actually might be out in that area. So if I'm out, let's stay in touch. I might be able to get you a room over at one of my in-laws because we have two homes out there, family.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you got it.
So when it comes to millennials, let's talk about how it applies to real estate. So there's been a lot of talk for the last few years that millennials don't buy homes. They just want to rent. They want to be, very flexible and mobile so they can pick up and move whenever they want.
They want to live with their mom and dad till they're 30.
A lot tend to live at home till they're much older than people your age, Jason, where your parents
so they can work on their
18.
EDM music.
Right? And so...
I left at 18, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, you got kicked out. Because you talk too much.
Surprise. Surprise.
So there's, a lot of new stuff that's been coming out, Jason. We've talked quite a bit on the show about there's a misconception that people are needing too much money to put down on a home. A lot of people, traditionally back in the day, used to need 20% down to buy a home, but that's changed a lot lately.
So even on this recent report that they can get from you, they can hit you on our text line, 619-663-7355. Recent report released, this is for millennials, by Down Payment Resources shows that 65% of first-time buyers, most of them being millennials, purchase their home with less than 6% down payment, less than 6. So I know, we've talked about some of the 3%. We've talked about 3.5%. If you've served in our military or current active, that's VA, 0 down. We also talked about the USDA loan, which is 0 down in the RURAL areas. Since I cannot pronounce that for some reason.
I love it. Yeah. So what's starting to happen now is, maybe there was a point where a lot of millennials were just kind of pumping the brakes and not buying. But what's happening, we talk about it, a lot on this show, is that rents are just getting to be insane. It's almost like we can't charge enough. When I have one of my properties come up for rent, we price it as high as we think
And these
we
are
can.
things like
then there's-
1,500 to 2,500, right? Most of your rents are probably going to be in that 15 to 2,500.
No, more than that.
Even more?
More, yeah. I mean, we have
That's crazy.
like down in Mission Valley, a 2-bedroom place in Mission Valley. You're spending at least $2,000 to $2,500 minimum for a 2-bedroom.
And
3-bedroom,
you can buy in
$2,500
that
to
market.
$3,000.
I mean, we sold my
So that's
father-in-law's
what's
place
happening.
for what, 200 and something grand. I mean,
That's what's starting to happen now. So a lot of people the millennials are just getting sick of like, this is stupid. Why am I renting? I can't afford this. I'm sick of having roommates. So they start looking at the option of buying, and now they're learning that there's options out there. So Wes, talk about some of the low money down options that you're putting people into.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I will. Don't worry, Wes.
I believe that it's easier to qualify for a loan for the same price as a rent.
Yeah. A lot of times, the debt to income ratio, if that's what you're referring to,
Yes.
you can actually qualify for a loan because we're able to go 45, 50, sometimes even 55% debt to income ratio. And that's your total debts, car loan, credit card, student loans divided by your gross income. And all the renters, landlords, they want like a third.
Yes.
So if you make $3,000 a month, they're like $1,000. That's it. It's all you can afford.
Yep.
And so it's absolutely easier to qualify for a mortgage, assuming you have any credit history, than it is to try to get a landlord to accept you nowadays. All the property managers, my mom just went through this. We helped her buy a mobile home, but the mobile home park was giving her a hard time about qualifying because she's on fixed income,
Okay.
right? But she easily qualified for the loan.
Yeah.
So that's a good point.
Yeah, so a lot of the millennials don't know that they can qualify for the loans. So they just keep renting because it's the only thing they know, and they haven't been talked to by people like me that are at
So
their same
maybe we could put
generation.
some systems in place, have some millennial programs, put some systems so that people know they could qualify.
Absolutely talk to people at Coachella, Stagecoach, everything else, because that's the only way that we can get in front of these people, unless we go down to the restaurants and everything that they're working, because a lot of my generation doesn't have careers. Because we like to pick up and go, and we like to do.
They like to pick up and go. They don't like listening to news, right? A lot of them don't even listen to the radio. Although you guys both be millennials, we probably have more millennial listeners than most shows, especially on AM 1170. Again, this is Whissel Wednesday. So how else can we tap into those millennials? Or how can you guys, being a millennial, how can you tap into your generation to help them? Because like you said, most don't know that it's easier to qualify for a home loan than it is to be a renter.
I mean, a big way is social media. We get into social media. I mean, you look at anybody my age these days; they're on their phone constantly. They go out to dinner; they're not even talking with their significant other now. They're on their phone.
It's probably what happened to Craig Sohan. He's probably he's probably too much on his phone.
But then again, we think everything's too good to be true. So if we see a big deal that comes up and we're like, oh, you can qualify for a loan, you can get your own house instead of paying rent, put money into your bank instead of somebody else's pocket in regards to a mortgage loan, then they think it's too good to be true and they will never be able to qualify, or in 2 years it's going to completely bite them in the butt. So
now here's what's interesting to me. You guys may not trust a referral from mom, dad, brother, sister to a real estate agent or a mortgage professional, but you somehow trust the Google search engine.
Yep.
Why is that?
Google knows everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because we find everything on Google. Everything.
Yeah.
If we don't
And
know
that's-
something, we Google it.
Yeah.
So we're a wealth of random information, but actual facts and knowledge, we go to the first ad that's on Google. We're not going through pages and pages of lists that
You just
are
go to
in
the first
Google.
page of the ad.
Exactly.
And it's
Or
whoever-
Yelp reviews
or the
something
Yelp.
like that.
Yeah, I bet Yelp is probably used more by millennials than any other generation for certain.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, why think about it? Why ask people for opinions when I can go somewhere and get 1,000 opinions on where the best restaurant is or where the best, place to go shopping is in a particular
I guess
area?
I've seen certain companies and certain people take advantage of that, right? They take advantage of those reviews. They pay people. They get all their friends, family. They do stupid stuff like that. I've seen that happen. Most of them hopefully get caught and, get thrown out on Yelp or something happens. But I don't always trust the online stuff, right? Being a poker player, I'd rather play in a poker game that I can look at you, Kyle, look at you, Wes, and make certain that you guys aren't cheating me than being online playing a poker against you guys when you're like somehow texting each other like, oh, this is the cards I got. Here's what I got. I don't trust the online. I'm just the opposite, being a Generation X. There was no internet, but you guys grew up with the internet. I didn't.
Yeah, just like I probably wouldn't trust a carriage attached to a horse, but you're very, very comfortable with this.
We were
method
pretty
of
excited. We were
transportation.
pretty excited when we put those two together.
Yeah.
We thought that was
so,
pretty.
it's normal.
you
We
know.
trust one thing, you trust another, so that's not abnormal. What are a couple other things right now that millennials need to know, Wes? As Wes checks his phone like a millennial.
Exactly. As he's sitting here tuning us out.
Well, the big thing is get in when you can for properties. If you can qualify and we can get you into a property, start putting that money into a mortgage instead of someone else's mortgage. Because later on, the prices are going to go up and you're going to have that bank account in your mortgage, if you will.
So if I hear you correctly, don't wait for the perfect time, because you can never predict the perfect time.
Exactly.
Kyle's talked about that many times. You can never predict the perfect rates. Although we think rates may go up, they might go down, who knows? Hey, if you can afford to get in now and you find a house, get it. And the one thing that I know all three of us agree on is most people's first house, especially in San Diego, is not their last house.
Absolutely.
Right? It's usually a 2 to maybe 6 year window. They're going to be in that home. Most likely you're going to sell that, roll up into another neighborhood, another home, bigger home, different area. Or you may rent it and be like Kyle and become the property king, hey, why would I sell it if I can buy another loan down payment program and Jason can help me with another loan? I'll just rent this one because rents are so crazy. They are paying my mortgage.
Absolutely.
And that's what Kyle, being the older millennial, has really done, is he has, 20 plus properties now?
Yeah, we should actually talk about what I plan to do with some of these properties right now.
Nice.
Own all of San Diego.
It's time for another run, Kyle. It's time for a run.
Yeah, we will talk. So we're going to head to a break here on Whissel Wednesdays. If you want to get connected with Wes, he is our guy. He's our millennial in the office, knows what's going on, and can relate to what you're going through. And if you're thinking about making a move and you're sick of paying the ridiculous rents, I'd love to get you connected with Wes. Give us a call. Shoot us a text, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. When we get back from the break, want to talk about some of the thoughts I've had in my head given where the market is at right now. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer.
AM 1170, The Answer.